Welcome to Sports, Wheels, and Reels with Jeff Miller and Austin Horton. One show, two guys, three topics, unlimited possibilities. Presented by Mark Miller Subaru. Engage with us on social media or email us at podcast@mmsubaru.com. And now, welcome your hosts, Jeff Miller and Austin Horton.
Welcome in episode 7 of the Sports, Wheels, and Reels podcast. I'm Austin Horton here with Josh Goldsmith again. Hey, Josh.
It's happy to be back.
We're happy that you are here. Wait, is that what that teleprompter says? Yes, I am happy you are here, Josh.
It's not what you actually feel, but that's all right. We don't have to get into that.
We have a lot to get into today.
We have a lot to cover.
The All-Star game, All-Star weekend in the rear view. We got some world events that our hearts are heavy about right now. And in fact, in this little teaser before we get going, just adding our heartache to the worlds with what's going on in Eastern Europe.
Yeah,
in
sending
Ukraine
our condolences for sure.
Yeah. So that's on our minds, but we're going to still try to have a little fun. We have cars on fire in the ocean, and we have a Liam Neeson movie, which that's all he does anymore is just make the same movie over and over and over.
Yeah, with a different title.
And some people are mad, and a certain group of people like it. We'll get into that and more right here today on the Sports, Wheels, and Reels podcast. Be right back.
My name is Spencer Kofed, and my Subaru is Extreme Adventure. Outback's really great for my lifestyle. It's got the ground clearance, it has four-wheel drive, it has just enough space for all my gear, but it's not crazy big of a footprint, so you can drive around the city really easily. It's a great car. And I almost never sleep in a tent now when I camp. I always sleep in the back of the Outback. I backcountry ski a lot here in the Wasatch, and I tour a lot, and to get there in a snowstorm, I want something reliable, and the Subaru gets me to the trailhead, and then I can go hike and ski Utah's great powder. If any of my friends were looking to buy a Subaru, I'd recommend Mark Miller Subaru. They have a promise price guarantee. It's just a really transparent experience. You never feel like they're hiding stuff from you. Whether it's skiing, skydiving, dirt biking, mountain bikes, surfing, and wakeboarding, my Subaru gets me out on my adventures. Subaru is a brand I trust, and Mark Miller Subaru is the Utah retailer that I love.
All right, let's start with sports, Josh.
Let's get into it.
All-Star weekend in the rear view. Just overall thoughts real quick before we go down our topic points. What are you an All-Star weekend guy? Do you like that stuff?
Historically, I've been engaged. I was excited about it going into it this year. Dunk contest just kind of soured it for me, but excited for it to be here next year. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
I'm finding as I get a little older, I'm actually more into the Friday night stuff than any of the rest of the weekend.
Yeah.
Which is it's sad for me to say that.
Yeah.
Because I shouldn't like celebrities, but I like seeing them suck at basketball.
It was entertaining.
It's a lot of fun.
It was very entertaining.
To see these people that are supposed to be gods among men not be able
just
to shoot
fall
a basketball.
flat on their face.
Right, exactly.
I mean, I've never seen such horrendous shooting.
And maybe that says a lot about me, because that's why I watch golf a lot, is to cheer for someone to screw up and get an 8 on a hole.
That's when
it
feels
says more
good.
about me than the game. But
you're human.
Hey, so Donovan missed the All-Star game.
You jinxed him.
I did. I jinxed him, and you're welcome, Jazz Nation, because if he had played in that game, he would have done something to something, and it would have been something.
We don't want to get into
specifics. Yeah, right.
We don't want to jinx him again.
But it may have rhymed with Rociel. Yeah. So
we got through it healthy.
He got an upper respiratory illness, not COVID.
Yep.
Which I think that's every one of our journals for the last year probably has an entry like that.
Yeah,
we've all had that.
Been a lot of that lately.
Yeah. And so he didn't play. Rudy hardly played, which is good for his calf.
Yep.
But I'll tell you this, Josh. A lot of the NBA narrative around Rudy Gobert at the All-Star weekend is and will always be, oh, he's not good for the All-Star game. I 100% disagree. He's actually a lot of fun for those exhibition games. He's so long and so tall. He can. I wish he would have shot a 3 or 2.
I do too. I was really hoping, there were a lot of people on Twitter really hoping that was going to be the night that Rudy pulled out the 3 out of his bag.
But his lob dunks
are great.
Were
the 360
better than anything you saw in the dunk contest. That 360 was sick. Yeah. So I think he's actually really fun in those.
He just has. I mean, when you let him loose and you don't have to worry about him going into contact, right?
Yeah.
And he can just play. He's really fun to watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, he got a lot of hate this weekend. But I disagree. I think he's really great for the All-Star game. I think he's able to show a really fun side of his game that we don't normally get to see. That's different than really what a lot of the bigs are out there doing.
Yeah, Rudy Gobert is somehow a villain in the NBA, and he's not a villain. He's
At all.
A really good person.
But is always
really good at basketball.
always painted as the villain.
Yeah,
which is so interesting.
It didn't help that he was the one that got COVID and
was a
someone
tough
was
start.
going to be patient zero.
Yeah.
And he
Happened
to
to be
it.
him.
So it's too
Yeah.
bad, and that'll follow him forever. And it's not fair and not cool, but I think he's strong enough to be okay. And he's like, whatever people say, I'm going to be fine.
Yeah, I think he's used to it. At this
So
point.
the game comes here next year, as you see right here. And if you notice the color scheme, the logo was revealed because this is the colors next year for the Jazz. Get used to bright yellow highlight.
How do you feel
color.
about it?
I hate it.
Okay.
I hate it with 1,000 burning hates.
While we're on that topic, how do you feel about the jersey leaks from
Awful.
this week? Okay.
Horrendous. Terrible.
Seems to be the trend. We're
And
not alone, at
They're-
least.
Look, maybe, and they were unofficial, so maybe they're not, but come on. They look like Summer League jerseys at best. I had Junior Jazz jerseys ordered from East Bay that were better
There
than
was I
these.
did see someone tweet that it looked like he could have taken it into the mall and had it screen printed. It was
Exactly
just so
it.
simple.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Yep. But anyway, game is here next year. There is talk of doing away, like legit talk of doing away with the dunk contest.
After this year, I don't blame him.
But yeah, they've done it to themselves, man.
I would agree, but the dunks during the warm up of the actual All-Star game were more impressive than
Right.
the dunks in the dunk contest.
And the reason for that, I think, is really simple. I think the dunk contest has become a see who can do it more obnoxiously
Yep.
rather than artistically. And in the layup line before the game, guys are just loose and they're free going, and they don't feel that pressure of, I've got to make YouTube highlight here.
Yeah.
And that's
it's
what
way more entertaining.
That's what they should do, honestly. If they're going to keep the dunk contest, is they should not announce or invite anybody to be in it. Everyone has to show up the night of, and then they say, you're doing it, and you're doing it, and you're doing it.
I agree.
You have 5
Don't let
minutes.
them have all this time to build up.
You
to
have 5 minutes to
practice.
stretch.
Yeah.
Then we're
Get
going.
after it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to call in the National Guard for a flyover.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I was at the Utah-Arizona game last night.
The what?
The University of Utah-Arizona basketball game.
I heard Utah Zone game.
Oh, no.
Utah-Arizona.
Utah-Arizona.
Glad I
And
missed that one.
The warm-ups, watching that Arizona team, you see why they're the number 2 team in the nation currently.
Are they?
But
I don't.
they are.
I don't look at that stuff till it's on the
I don't
bracket.
normally, but it was quite entertaining. And again, exact same thing. I mean, during the warm-ups, it's fun to watch them dunk, and it's fun to watch them mess around, and they don't care if it doesn't go in.
Yep.
And they play loose, they play hard, and you get to see some fun stuff. And I think would be a really great way to do it, of saying, all right, pick a straw.
Yeah.
You're up.
You're in the dunk contest.
Yeah, bring it. Let's see what happens.
Bojan Bogdanovic, you're in the dunk contest.
You are in it. Mike Conley.
Hey, his dad won it.
He did.
In the
I didn't know that.
1992 or 3.
Huh.
When they, instead of having NBA players do the dunk contest, they had other sports figures. They had Terrell Owens. They had Barry Bonds.
That's cool.
They had Chris Carter. Not Terrell Owens, excuse me, Chris Carter. Terrell Owens was like 16 at the time.
I had no idea.
And Mike Conley Sr. was a track athlete, and he won the thing. He dunked from the free throw line twice.
Wow.
Not even trying. It was incredible.
That's just natural athleticism
Look it up, kids, on YouTube. It's really cool. All right. I have some ideas, though, on how to fix All-Star Weekend.
That's what you were saying. I'm curious to see what you've got.
So they all of these guys in the NBA, their number one pastime is playing Xbox or
Video
PlayStation
games.
or whatever. Esports.
Yep, that's all they do.
They play Halo. They play Call of Duty. And during the pandemic, when the game was stopped, right after COVID started here in this country, they actually started doing some cool stuff where they would broadcast on Twitch their little
Them playing.
video game parties.
Yeah.
I sound so old right now.
You do.
That's
all right.
On the interwebs.
On the interwebs.
The
With
floppy
the
disk
dial-up.
and and the joysticks. But when they would broadcast those things, these guys have so much fun with each other.
Yeah.
And it gets a little blue. It gets a little
colorful.
NC-17.
Yeah.
But that would be so much fun.
It would be
to
fun.
have an esports tournament.
Yeah.
That you
I
could
love
watch.
that. I
These
love
guys
that
go
idea.
at it online.
I
What
love
about playing one-handed?
Oh.
So your non-dominant hand
Oh.
has to be your dominant hand, and we zip tie your dominant hand to your thigh.
Yeah.
And you have to play a game of 21 one-handed against 2 other guys.
I love that idea. We maybe need to be cautious of some potential injuries with the zip tie behind the hand. But I agree. I like that idea.
If you want to be paranoid and think about potential
we
injuries.
talked about it last week that we didn't want our players getting injured.
I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, that was me. And
That
it will
was
always
you.
be me.
Yeah.
They did this thing also where, and Mike Conley won it, the horse contest that
Yeah,
they did during
that
the
was
pandemic.
cool.
It was at times cool. It wasn't at times cool. But I think in a truncated space at All-Star Weekend, that would be a cool thing.
I agree.
Maybe instead of horse, you played a pig or whatever.
Yeah.
Played a 2K.
Yeah.
Make it fast. I
Done.
don't know. Now, this is my favorite one. A decathlon of bar sports. So when you and your buddies
on the
go out
list?
and you're playing ping pong and you're playing darts and you're playing beer pong and karaoke, make all these things part of a competition.
I like it.
So that you've got Draymond Green and Rudy Gobert trying to see who sings Luther Vandross better at the bar.
Yeah.
I
love
think
it.
it'd be a riot.
I mean, you could toss Jenga in there.
Jenga.
You could toss some cornhole in there.
How about War, the slap game?
Yeah. We could really take this thing to the next level.
I think so as well.
I could send an email to Ryan Smith. I'll bet we could get on the committee to help with this next
I
year.
don't think so. I think that's part of the reason they fired me, so that
okay.
all these ideas were further away from the organization.
That's
How about
understandable.
during the game itself, have a second hoop that is at 20 feet above the hoop.
Uh-huh.
So it's not like in the corner or whatever.
Yep.
So there's the 10-foot hoop, then a 20-foot hoop.
Okay.
That's worth 4 points.
Oh.
How about that?
Same size.
And you're only allowed
Just higher.
5 shots
Better make them
at
count.
the 4-point shot per game.
Could they be a layup? Or does
A
it have to
layup.
be from outside the 3-point line?
Oh, no, yeah, it's got to be
Okay,
beyond the
all
arc.
right.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm thinking a layup. Who's going to make a layup 20 feet in the air? But you mean
Yeah.
close to the back. No, it's got to be behind the arc.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then finally, have one player on each side of the team wear a GoPro while they're playing the game. Strap it to their chest or
Sick.
even put a little helmet on. I don't care.
Yeah.
So that you can watch their point of view
It'd be really cool.
in the All-Star game.
Yeah. That'd be way cool. I mean, I think one of the favorite things is hearing all the players that are mic'd up. Right?
Yeah.
I think that's become a really popular thing, and it's so funny.
Yeah.
And I think that's another, take it to the next level. Maybe even put a mic on him.
Adam Silver, I just gave you all these for free. So, really, what are you waiting for? Make it happen.
Let's make it happen. Salt Lake City next year.
All right, back to seriousness.
Back to
Real serious.
seriousness.
Sports.
All right.
The Jazz have 24 games left.
God, it's
We touched
crazy
on it
that
last
we're
week
already
a
that
little
far
bit.
through the season.
Yeah. They've got 10 at home, 14 away. Their home record this year is 21 and 10. They're 15 and 12 away, by the way, close to 500 on the away record.
Crazy.
So with 10 home,
With how
14
good we
away.
were away last year,
Yeah.
it's a little shocking.
Yeah. Well, I think that there's been a lot of careless-ism.
Yep.
Careless-itis.
Yep.
For
Would
good
agree.
reasons.
Yeah, understandable.
But anyway, with 24 games left, how much game management, Josh Goldsmith, are we going to see down the stretch? How much are we going to see Mike Conley play at all? How much are we going to see Rudy and Donovan play?
Again, I think this idea of the regular season doesn't really matter as long as you make it into the playoffs is kind of overtaking what it feels like the Jazz are right now. And I think as long as they can maybe go on a little bit of a run, pretty securely lock up a top 4 seed,
Yeah.
I think you're going to see a lot of game management because I think a lot of people view our Achilles heel as obviously the small ball issue, right, that we face with the Clippers. But we also have to remember that Donovan was not healthy. Mike Conley was not healthy. You still have Gobert coming off of this calf strain. And
no Joe Ingles.
Right, and no Joe Ingles. And I think if we want to make a run at it, you have to have those 3 guys healthy going into postseason. And I think they would be okay at the 4 seed if you have those 3 guys going in.
So you think they're still going to secure a top 4 seed in the West?
I think so.
Okay. Will the Lakers make it out of that play-in tournament before the regular season ends? Because right now they're in 7th, and they're, I think, 4 games below 500.
I mean, the other question to that is, do you think the Lakers will even make it into the play-in tournament
Like
with,
they'll miss the playoffs?
with Anthony Davis out now?
No, they won't miss the playoffs.
You don't think?
No.
All right.
Well, LeBron is apparently now purse fighting with Rob Pelinka.
Yeah.
So I don't know. All right, so Jazz, 24 games to go. I think I was on. I filled in for Spence Checkets on the drive yesterday and the day before. Had a blast, and we talked with Tony Jones of The Athletic, and he kind of dismissed my idea that I think we're going to see some game management.
Really?
He thinks they've been doing it all season, which they have,
And they'll
in
just
minutes
maintain-
restrictions.
Okay.
But I think we're going to flat out see guys not playing at all.
Yeah.
So that we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. I think your game management on back-to-backs is definitely going to change.
Yeah.
I think again, a strength of the Jazz has always been the depth. I think you have some interesting depth and questions that we don't currently know the answer to, with obviously Joe being out, with House coming in, with NAW coming in. I think there's going to be some, let's let the end of our bench get some more minutes. Let's see where our depth really lies now, because I think there's some question marks that we haven't necessarily had in the past.
Yeah. You know who's going to show up on the game load management log a lot? Is Rudy Gay. I think he's going to miss a lot.
When was the last time he
these
played?
last 24 games.
When was the last time he played?
I don't know, but it's clear that he's on this roster for one thing,
reason,
and that's the playoffs.
Yeah.
All right, last stop here in sports. Our minds and hearts turn to Ukraine, but there is a sports connection going on with the events over there.
Yeah.
The IOC, the International Olympic Committee, as dirty and as corrupt as they come anyway, but they've now stopped and banned all activities related to the Olympics in Russia and Belarus.
Yep.
And they called out FIFA.
Yep.
Because there's a World Cup qualifier planned for the 24th of March in Moscow between Russia and Poland.
Yeah.
And the IOC has called out FIFA. Is like, you
better
can't
pull
have that.
this.
That can't go down.
No.
Also, the Klitschko brothers, Vitaly and Vladimir Klitschko.
Yeah.
You remember these guys. They are Hall of Fame boxers. They are
Hard
I
not
think,
to remember these guys.
15 feet tall and
least.
400 pounds each.
Yeah.
They are what's the X-Men guy that runs through walls? What's his name?
Yeah, drawing a blank.
What was it?
Juggernaut.
Juggernaut. Yeah, they are the real life. Thank you, Ryan Rigby. They are the real life version of the Juggernaut.
Yeah. In
And
true form.
Vitaly is the mayor of Kiev,
Yeah.
which is the capital of Ukraine.
Terrifying.
And Vladimir last month enlisted.
Yeah.
And Vitaly was on CNN, I think,
Yeah.
2 days ago,
Yep.
and said, "I'm picking up arms
Yeah.
and defending my country."
It is shocking. I mean, a lot of the footage coming out of the people lined up to defend their country.
Yeah.
And there was a 75-year-old man with his briefcase with 2 sandwiches and some extra clothes saying,
Let's go.
Let's go.
Bring it.
I'm not laying down. I am doing this. I know my family's safe. We got them out of here, but let's go.
I hope we never have to face decisions like that ever, anywhere, but especially in this country. And if we do, I would hope that I have that much gumption
Yeah.
to not hide from it. But
Yeah.
I love the idea of the Russians trying to attack the city of Kyiv and coming upon Vitaly and
His brother.
Vladimir Klitschko in a
that would be
hand-to-hand combat.
That would be a scene.
And I think that's how we should settle all world conflicts.
In the middle of the
is
road.
Just have the biggest, baddest person in your
You've got-
population
Bring
go
it.
up against their biggest, baddest
Yeah.
person. And
It's like
whoever
a-
wins, that's
yeah,
who wins.
Like a gunfight in the Wild West.
Yeah, but no guns.
At high noon.
Yeah.
No, I get it. But with this.
Yeah.
But
Arm
I think
wrestling.
that would be cool.
Yeah.
Everyone gathers.
That's how it should be.
Bring it.
We're solving world problems here on the
Yeah.
Sports Wheels
We
and
got
Wheels
lots
podcast.
of good ideas.
We have a lot of ideas. Maybe one.
Maybe not good.
If you send out 50 ideas, maybe one is half good.
Something might stick.
Yeah. So, all right, coming back. We'll take a break. We'll come back with the Wheels segment this week. Fire on the water. Yeah, water can burn. We'll show you and tell you about it next here
Scary.
on Sports Wheels and Reels.
My name is Sierra Hudson. I'm a wife, mom, business owner, and my Subaru is safety for my family. So my husband Colton and I have 3 beautiful little girls. We love adventures. There's just so much to do outside, and we love being able to jump in our Subaru and just go. We've brought all 3 of our babies home from the hospital in our Subaru. So Subaru really is just a brand that's part of our family as well. My husband, he bought me, actually surprised me for Christmas in 2019 with a Subaru Ascent, and that was just the best Christmas present ever. So this past winter, it was January, we decided to take a spontaneous trip to St. George. My husband he hit a black ice or just snow, and we just started to slide. I was in the back seat and I was just making sure, kind of bracing for my kids to be safe. And it was just one of those moments where you truly feel helpless. We hit into the cement barrier and then rotated and hit a FedEx freight truck. And after we hit that truck, we spun again. The airbags had gone off and everything was fine at that point. Our Subaru, put its life on the line for us. And I just thought that was, I know it's a car, but it means so much more to us and our family. So there's no other car I want to drive. Subaru is one of the safest brands, and people can tell you that it has all the safety features, all the bells and whistles, but I've personally lived that. I mean, we went through such a horrific accident, and I can just attest that the Subaru truly is as safe as they say. The Ascent has Subaru Eyesight, and that is just an extra pair of eyes on the road, which I know I could use, and I'm sure you other moms could use as well. So when we were looking to get another Subaru, the only place that I could trust was Mark Miller Subaru. At Mark Miller Subaru, they have their Promise Price program, which is when you go in, the price you see is the price you pay. They're not haggling you. I mean, their salespeople aren't even paid on commission. So you just feel so comfortable when you walk in the doors. And as a woman, I just feel like I'm not being, talked down to. It's just such a great overall experience. As a mom with 3 busy kids, I don't have the time to drop them off places, so it's so nice that I can bring them here when I'm getting services done, looking for a new car. They have a cafeteria, they have a kids' play area, and it just makes the experience completely just relaxing, like it should be. I love Mark Miller Subaru, and so many other people do too, but hey, don't take my word for it. Just Google them. I mean, you'll see how many positive reviews come up. Subaru is a brand you can trust, and Mark Miller Subaru is the local Utah retailer that you will love.
Welcome back, Sports Wheels and Reels. Josh Goldsmith, Austin Horton. We're here each and every Friday at 11 a.m. You can now catch us on YouTube Live.
Yeah, big news after this week.
Breaking
news.
You catch us on the old Google.
We're everywhere.
Suite. Yeah,
the intranet.
The interwebs, yeah. So go to your local movie theater, get one of those CD-ROM discs that has a free 30 minutes of internet.
Yep.
And put it in your drive.
Yep. Is that similar to the floppy disk?
It's I believe a step up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Floppy holds more.
Floppy holds more.
All right. Let's talk about wheels and my favorite story of the week. All you rich people ordering rich cars, you have to reorder
There they
them.
are. Right there.
I'll try not to gloat.
On fire.
But anytime I see Porsches, Mercedes, Bentleys on fire in the ocean, and it's not harming directly a person,
right?
It's a little happy for me.
Yeah.
But all joking aside, there is a cargo ship that the fire has now gone out, they believe.
Fingers crossed.
But it was carrying all these luxury cars to be imported.
Yeah.
And it caught fire. The crew abandoned ship. It got so bad.
Oh, can you imagine?
And now they're just kind of out there monitoring this crewless vessel.
Floating blob.
That's just out there. No one to control it, nothing to do. And they're from afar trying to determine if the fire has gone out. There's still some smoke, but they think it's just smoldering. Yeah. Anyway, the question now becomes, how are they going to get this ship to where it needs to be? And then what are they going to do about it?
Great question.
I would love to know if anyone out there has got an email if you've been waiting on a car, and if you got an email from Porsche, Mercedes,
Your
because they've
car's
been
on
emailing
that ship.
customers and saying,
So sorry.
your car was lost in a fire at sea. I would love to hear what's going to happen there.
The question is, what would happen if they just left this ship at sea? Where would it end up?
That's actually, and to be honest with you, it's actually a fear I have.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Because they could very easily just torpedo the thing, and it goes down, and they go, well, we can't risk human life, to get this. Then it contaminates the ocean.
Right.
It's honestly a real fear of mine.
It would not surprise me, because the idea of having to drag this thing from wherever it is in the ocean to shore and dealing with it sounds like a very big undertaking that we probably don't want to have to deal with.
Yeah, the Portuguese Navy, I guess, is in charge of this right now. On Tuesday, a Navy captain confirmed the smoke and visible flames aboard the cargo ship were now gone. There are no visible fire spots anymore, said João Manuel Mendes Cabasas.
All right.
Nailed it. Captain of the nearest Portuguese naval port. The temperature inside the ship is still high, but at least the crew can be on the main deck. Oh, there is crew still on the ship.
Oh.
I thought for sure they had all abandoned the crew of his boat can still be on the main deck.
Oh, got it.
Viewing
their
the
ship.
boat. Yeah, got it.
Okay.
So there's that. That's in the news. The Utah House has passed a bill pausing personalized license plates.
Yeah.
Which is very sad news for Josh Goldsmith.
Really sad.
We can't say what his vanity plates say on air. It's really offensive.
Extremely.
But he won't be able to. Oh, no, you'll be grandfathered in. So you'll be.
Yeah.
But that's the whole idea behind this is they're wanting to come up with some more stringent guidelines because there have been a few that have slipped through by writing it backwards.
Well, and at the end of every year, they release the DMV releases the license plates that people wanted, the vanity plates that people wanted.
Turd Burglar 4.
Very creative ones, so props to them. But yeah, they are trying to clamp down on that a little more.
Yeah, our guy Max Ramirez, a sales specialist here at Mark Miller Subaru Midtown, he has a vanity plate that's just stupid.
Literally.
No, literally, that's what it is.
Literally.
It's the word stupid.
Yeah.
And I asked him why, and he's like, I don't know.
I just thought it was funny.
It's stupid. Yeah, it was.
Well,
enjoy paying your
good
premium
work,
every
Max.
year to the state of Utah for stupid. The DMV has a sticker shortage.
Yeah.
So your new little stickers to show that you've been registered.
Yep.
They have a material shortage. Excuse me.
Of those stickers.
And
shortages everywhere.
They're sending a letter to keep in your glove box
until you get your sticker.
And I loved their note that said they're trying to inform law enforcement about this.
Trying.
What does that mean?
What do you mean trying?
How do you not succeed? You're the DMV.
Yeah. You should have direct access.
Yes, they should. They're following what you tell them to do. So anyway,
concerning.
If you get pulled over and you've been recently registered but didn't get your new sticker,
make sure you've got that letter.
Do not lose that letter.
No, that letter is gonna.
And I would say screenshot the digital
notification,
copy of
everything.
Yeah. All right, and then finally, Honda has recalled over 1.7 million.
It's a lot of cars.
Because their automatic braking will just
randomly
turn on. Yep. You'll just be driving down the freeway and your pre-collision braking.
And you come to a dead stop.
You're going 80 to 0 in about a second and a half.
Yeah. With no notice to anybody behind you.
Which, our Subarus come with pre-collision braking. And what I tell my customers all the time about it is this is literally the last resort.
Yep.
If you miss something and don't get to it in time,
it's not something you want to rely on.
And you don't ever really, honestly, you don't want to
have to use it. Yeah.
Because it is a violent stop.
Yeah.
It's whiplash.
It is better than rear-ending a vehicle, but it is
100%.
Still not an enjoyable experience.
It saves lives.
Yep.
And gives you a little sore muscle from time to time.
Yeah.
But apparently Honda has 1.7 million vehicles that are just
randomly stopping.
The brakes. Yeah. So if you think, if you've got a Honda and you're concerned, you can go to safercar.gov or NHTSA.org.
That's really a mouthful.
It was better when it was safercar.gov.
Yeah.
Which they still, for now, it still works. But safercar.gov, put in your VIN and see if it has been affected.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for Wheels. We'll come back after a short break here, get into Reels. Liam Neeson. Yeah, he's still making movies, and he's still making the same movie.
Over and over again.
Some people are okay with it.
Others,
not so much. Tell you about it next.
My name's Jamie Ustry, and I am a dog mom, a human mom, a wife, a member of the LGBTQ plus community, an animal advocate, and my Subaru is freedom. I've had so many animals over the years, several dozen dogs and cats. One of the things that I love about Mark Miller Subaru is they're the largest animal welfare supporter that I've ever met in the Salt Lake Valley. The dogs definitely enjoy the Subarus. I think it's a little more comfortable than some cars we've had in the past. One of the main reasons that I decided to purchase my 2 Subarus from Mark Miller Subaru is safety. Keeping all my little creatures safe is important to me, and Forester and the Ascent that I have are both highly rated. You know, it's kind of this combination of a safe car, a nice looking car, but also a very convenient dog owning and kid owning car as well. It's hard to leave the house to come have something done like an oil change or a rock chip repair, and so they come to me. Mark Miller Subaru comes out, picks up my car, brings it here to have it serviced, and drops it back off. And you just couldn't ask for anything better when you're a busy mom like I am. When I knew I was gonna buy Subarus, one of the reasons that I trusted Mark Miller Subaru so much is not just what they do for animals in the community, but what they do for our LGBTQ plus community here in Utah. They're one of the longest supporters of the LGBTQ plus community. I feel, as a person involved in that community, that they are someone that I can come to and will give me a good deal and respect me as a person and treat me right and my family right. And my wife and I, our daughter Harper and our dogs, we're just so happy that we picked Mark Miller Subaru. You may not even realize it, but through Mark Miller Subaru's Love Promise program, they're probably supporting a nonprofit that you love in the community. In the past 10 years, they've donated nearly $3 million across Utah to charities that we all love and support. Subaru is a brand that I trust, and Mark Miller Subaru is the local retailer that I love.
Welcome back. Final segment this week on Sports Wheels and Reels. I'm losing my voice.
It's not. We got a lot to talk about.
Well, excuse me. Like I mentioned earlier, I did 2 days of radio yesterday and the day before, and
your voice isn't used to this.
My voice was not used to talking that much. Yeah. So I guess I need to.
It's funny how quickly you forget. Your body forgets those things.
Yeah. Yep. So gotta do your warm-ups.
Yeah.
Ma me mo moo. That's
what is your warm-up routine?
I should have one. I don't. It's
so you don't. You don't listen to yourself after you've recorded anything.
I don't watch or listen.
And you
myself.
have no warm-up routine.
Nope. I just wing it.
And how long have you been in radio?
Not well. Too long, apparently. Someone thought.
Interesting. All right.
Hey, let's talk some movies.
Someone thought.
Your guy, Tom Brady.
My guy. That's a stretch.
He's going from football to movie making, and it will not be good movies.
No.
They just will suck.
Yep.
But this movie that he's doing, I forget what it's called. May not even have a name yet. But it is about a true story.
Maybe it should be called Ego.
It should be called Ego.
He's got one.
The Tom Brady story.
Yeah.
My movie, Tom Brady.
My movie.
You ever seen Hamilton? And King George says, "Now enjoy my show." That's Tom Brady, man. He's just gonna have a pre-roll
to a T
before the movie. Yeah. Enjoy my movie about me, starring me, produced by me. That's not a joke. That's what's happening.
Acted out by me.
That's right.
Yeah.
Playing me.
Every role played by me.
Me, myself, and I. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this story of 4 friends who got together because one of them was dying of cancer.
Yep.
Traveled to the Super Bowl as this friend's dying wish, and it happened to be the Super Bowl where Tom Brady and the Patriots came back from 28-3 to beat the Falcons.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
The movie will star Lily Tomlin, Jane Fonda, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
Sally Field.
Yep.
And one Thomas J. Brady as himself.
Yeah.
And he's producing it and he's writing it. And I just
This will be his first acting role, isn't it?
Well, no, he was in an actually in a very unfortunate appearance in a Netflix show where Paul Rudd had himself cloned. I don't know if I've
seen that.
And it was around the time that Robert Kraft was in hot water for visiting a certain establishment.
Yeah.
And that's when this movie came out, and the appearance of Tom Brady was coming out of a similar establishment.
Oh, yeah, it's not a good look.
And saying, this is how I get through my 12 years or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, whoa.
Yeah, it's a little close to home.
It's not his first appearance, no.
Okay.
But I just can't. Here's what really bothers me about it. This story is not about Tom Brady.
No.
This story is about these friends and this experience they had. It's not about Tom. Tom Brady just happened to be in that game.
Yeah.
They didn't go because it was Tom Brady.
But he is making it his own.
He's taking this beautiful, amazing story and making it Tom's story.
Yeah.
He's like E.J. Peterman, or what's his name, from Seinfeld, that buys Kramer's stories.
Yeah.
That's Tom Brady. He's just
You're right.
buying people's other people's life stories.
Yeah, I'm concerned about this one. We talked about Hustle last week, and I'm excited about that one.
I'm not.
I am very concerned about
This is
Tom
gonna be
Brady's
terrible.
movie.
Hot garbage is what this movie will be.
Yeah.
All right, and then Liam Neeson. He knows how to do one thing,
And one thing only.
and that is read the Polar Express. No, we have a CD recording of him reading the Polar Express.
Really?
I can't make it past
Is it
18
soothing?
seconds in. Oh yeah, it's like
You're out.
It's like the Holy
needs
Spirit soothing you to
melatonin?
sleep, man. I don't
Who
know
needs
what-
melatonin when you've got Liam Neeson?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Who knew?
Christmas Eve, many years ago. Yeah, that's me.
There you go.
All right, so he's got this movie out called Blacklight. It's there's a lot of jokes I can make of what a movie called Blacklight might be about, but we're gonna
Move past that.
fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
With your friends, play along at home. But this movie is exactly what you think it would be, starring Liam Neeson. Someone somewhere is corrupt, and he has to fight his way to the top and find out who's in charge and
solve
who's
the
doing
problem.
this, and save the day at 97 years old, and not look 97 years old while doing it.
Does he wear his life alert when he's in the movie? Did they let him take that off?
Yeah, well, it's now embedded underneath his skin, so you can't see it.
Because Joseph has to wear his while we produce this. So.
Joseph Dane, one of our producers here, said, "Oh, I don't have a Twitter." I was like, "I didn't know you were 74 years old." Yeah, but anyway, the movie called Blacklight. Audiences have given it an 81% approval rating,
Which is shocking.
so that's like 8 out of 10 liked this movie.
Wow.
Critics have
Not so
given
much.
it 8%
Ooh.
out of 100.
It's a little
So,
polarizing.
81, 8 out of
Eight. 10,
less than 1 out of 10.
So you assume it's maybe somewhere in the middle?
I don't know, honestly. I think that I will love this movie
So you're going to watch it.
because the audiences liked it and the critics hated it.
All right.
Because
Are you a fan of his previous Meat movies?
Oh yeah, they're
Okay.
terrible, and
All
I
right.
love every one
Okay.
of them.
All right.
Taken should have won the Oscar that year.
Ooh, I
should
think
have
there's a
been
lot of
Best
people that would
Picture.
disagree with you on that one.
No,
but
they're wrong.
you're,
And
yep,
come
you're
at
right.
me. At
Austin
Josh
Horton,
Goldsmith
always.
on Twitter. Yeah. All right.
Austin's number is 80.
385-294. All right. So, are you going to see this though?
I might.
Yeah,
If you
will.
see it, I'll see it.
Well, that may not. I have 2 children under 3.
Well,
The last time I
balls in your court.
don't talk about my ball. Sorry. That's a Me Too moment. We're going to meet with HR after the show here. But the idea that I'm going to be able to get out to a theater to see Liam Neeson is laughable.
Well, maybe once it comes out
Or maybe I'll legally stream it.
on a floppy
Totally
disk.
legal on a floppy disk at Joe's house on his Macintosh. Yeah.
There you go.
All right. Hey, good to have you back.
It's good to be back.
Where's Jeff?
In the happiest place on earth.
Church?
Depends on who you ask.
The in-laws?
I think he's at Disney World. He has spent a
cool.
week at Disney World with his lovely children, and they're having a great time.
You know, I was reading an article the other day, and then we'll go, about how Disney World doesn't have any mosquitoes.
What?
In a swamp like Orlando,
In
Florida,
How's that possible?
they have, and it's all natural stuff. They build these mosquito areas with like the things that mosquitoes like, so they stay away from the people.
Whoa.
They have scents that go out through the park. They have birds that eat only mosquitoes. It's wild. There's like 15
Disney
things
World,
they do.
Disney in general they've thought of everything.
Yeah. South Park nailed Disney years ago. They rule the world.
Yeah.
Disney is in charge.
In charge.
Thank you, Walt.
Disney's
Appreciate it.
World, we're just living in it.
Hey, I like that. That should be their logo. Disney's World. You're just living in it.
There you go.
Come to Orlando.
See,
Hashtag.
that was a semi-good idea.
We
finished on a high note.
Our thanks to Ryan Rigby, Joseph Dane, and Mike Aguilar, who is sweating bullets every week over there behind that laptop. He is. We're over here laughing and having a good time, and he's looking like he's launching the moon lander.
But he is pulling it off successfully
over there
week
on
after
Mars.
week.
And
Hard to believe we're already on week 7. Nails
week
it.
7. Only 3 shows left. All right, we'll be back next week, unless we're not, with Sports, Wills, and Reels. Until then, Utah by 5.
That's you and Jeff.
Trust me.